Hey.
You be hype on this. All right, mic check 1 2 1 2. Our sound guy is missing, so we gotta test this out. We've been doing good, so we're good to go. Let's start it up. Chubb with that sportscast. Back at it. Missing Dice, right?
Dice is here in spirit today, but shout out to Dice.
There you go. But yeah, so we know. Just like we said before, just to bring you weekly updates like we always plan to do. The struggle, everything. Shamar didn't get stuck today. But like I said, we are missing Dice, so he'll be back next week.
It doesn't matter. I made it. Even when I got stuck, I made it.
Yeah.
Always.
Other obligations.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. Life happens.
It happens. Dice, you're here in spirit.
All right. Well, let's start this off by saying follow us on Triple Threat Sportcast on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Shamar for President.
Shamar for President.
Excellent Execution on IG.
It's my boy. It's your boy Dice on IG.
There we go.
You get the plug too, bro.
You get the plug too. All right, so let's start it off. Crazy week in the NFL, the divisional rounds. First game. Well, unless you want something else to talk about real quick.
Well, I'll just kind of pick up a little bit where we left off on the last show. In that show, we were watching the ending of the Eagles-Buccaneers game. I just would be remiss and not, pose if I didn't do the Yo, y'all got smashed. Eagles, y'all got smashed. Oh, man, season is over.
It's been over.
Can't say that, I'm not one happy camper, but,
All the NFC East is gone.
All the NFC East is gone. Oh, this was great. Okay, I just wanted to follow that up from the last show that we dropped.
Yeah, but I did put the game score at the end of the game, so when I did the editing and stuff, so
32-9.
Yeah, it looked like the Eagles playing the Giants.
Man. Listen, they're playing paper football on the cruise right now. It's Cabo chilling in the off season, where they're both supposed to be.
That's crazy. All right. So first game of the day. That we recapping. Was the Ravens?
Oh, we're rehabbing. Ravens and the Texans. Ravens 34, Texans 10. Cinderella eventually gets the glass slipper put on. Texans hung in there that first half. And then Lamar Jackson turned into Lamar Jackson and showed why he's probably going to be the NFL MVP this year.
Oh, he should definitely. We'll get to that too after we do these recaps and predictions. Because, like I said, each individual episode and the NFL season's going lower and lower. We'll add a little more to. But did you see the game?
Yeah.
So in the beginning, the first half, nothing happened with both teams.
No, I mean
it was the offensive game, and
nothing
was happening.
You could tell they were kind of seeing what each other were going to do. They were going to try to fill each other out, pause, see what they're doing, and then once second half kicked in, the Ravens.
I think it was tied at halftime.
It was tied at halftime. It was 10-10 at halftime.
Yeah.
And then the Ravens came out in that first series of the third.
No, you know what really happened, right? It's what really happened was Lamar. They had an interview after, and then he was in halftime. He went off, and they were like, "What'd you say?" He was like, "I can't say it." It wouldn't be inappropriate if I say it now.
Yeah, but not only did he go off in the halftime, he also backed it up because he literally took over that second half of the game. The Texans had absolutely no answer for Lamar Jackson on the ground.
So the first half, all season long, like I said, he's been playing like Lamar, but not as much. So he's been in the backfield and been in the pocket most of the season. I'll say, right? And then, but it's still Lamar Jackson, so you always gotta have to.
You have to account for that for the running, for the legs. You gotta account for it, and the Texans didn't on those few when he got at those big plays, and even when they tried to put a spy on him, it didn't work.
Yeah, and then after that, like I said, he just turned up on halftime and he told them he was just I went off on them and I had to tell him stuff, and then from there he didn't stop. So I feel like he was just you know what, if you're not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
No, and that was good. But to be honest with you, outside of really Lamar Jackson, that offense really didn't play well. Most of that game for the Ravens was that defense because C.J. Stroud couldn't do nothing. They couldn't handle pressure. They couldn't handle, the third and long situations they was putting themselves in.
Yeah.
They blanketed the field, so C.J. Stroud really didn't have any passing lanes to really throw into it. They really, that Baltimore defense, very, very underrated. Very underrated. I knew they were good. What I saw what they did because, the Browns also have a good defense, and C.J. Stroud tore them to shreds. So, he's been kind of doing that all season, and that's kind of why the Texans are in the playoffs. But Baltimore put the clamps. They put the clamps on C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud had no impact in that game whatsoever.
He did. Like I said, but it was more a defensive game. But
What it was is C.J. Stroud had no impact on this game. So
he did in the beginning. I like how you said it earlier. You said Cinderella eventually her glass slipper just fell off.
it just fell off. Its clock struck 12, man. And seriously, no, C.J. Stroud. Look at that.
Compared to what he's been doing, to what he what he did, but it's the same thing. They both played opposite because Lamar hasn't been running after 2 rushing touchdowns.
But Lamar had the impact. C.J. Stroud didn't.
Yeah.
And the defense made sure that C.J. Stroud
is different.
No impact on that game. They couldn't even run the football.
Yeah, 22 yards, 9 carries. They didn't even attempt to run anything.
Yeah, so
Lamar ran for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then he threw 2 touchdowns too.
Yeah. You can't, there's nothing you can.
But like you said, that's why I feel like he's going to get the MVP.
Yeah. That Lamar is good.
But to be fair, this is the best Lamar we've seen in the playoffs ever.
Ever. No.
Yeah, ever.
Absolutely, ever. And, the caliber of competition goes up next week. So, that's for the later portion of the show and prediction time. But the level goes up, and you know what? This was a good win. The Texans, they're on the right path.
Yeah,
they're on the right path.
Especially with the rookie quarterback. All that stuff.
Rookie quarterback to win a playoff game in his first rookie season with a rookie head coach, they on the right path.
Oh, of course. There's nothing takes away from them, but it's still, like I said, I just feel like Baltimore is just a phenomenal team this year.
Yeah, they're the better. They were the better team, and it showed.
Yeah,
it showed. So,
but I wasn't surprised that the Ravens didn't win. I was surprised how the first half went, and then after that,
it made you play like they were supposed to play. It made you seem like, oh my God, the Texans really got a shot if they could keep the game like this and going on. And then Lamar just said, you know what, everybody get on my back and let me carry y'all. Let me show y'all what this is about. Let me show y'all why I'm the MVP. And he did exactly that. And the Texans had no answer. They had no answer.
That's true. A lot of teams has no answer when he does that too.
No. And I think a lot of why they kept them a lot from running away like that this season
just
was
to,
because
throw them off?
It's not to throw him off. He's been injured. He's injured like every year.
Yeah, he's injured prone. But to be fair, Lamar's aspect and the AFC North, he's the one that's mostly injury prone, but he's played the whole season.
He played, but
compared to everything else, like the Steelers quarterback wasn't there, mine,
right,
and the Browns,
right. But he gets these little nicks. He get these little. It's always something with Lamar, and he's actually for the first time I think in years he's healthy. He was healthy going into the playoffs because they didn't have to run him a lot like that this year. But in the playoffs, different game. This is what he's gonna have to do. The dynamic of their offense changes when he runs the ball like that.
Yeah, 100 yards, like I said.
And with those receivers, and then they have Mark Andrews coming back.
When? Next year?
No, they activate him off the injury list.
No way.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he'll be playing against the Chiefs on Sunday. Yeah.
Oh, that's a big thing because Isaiah likely still been balling too.
Yeah. So now to force him in there, I mean, what they had going was really good. So getting him back, it never hurts to get talent back.
Oh yeah, especially Mark Andrews. He was his number one target.
Right. So
compared to anything else, now he got more options.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, we'll continue though. Because we'll say that for our predictions and everything.
Yeah.
The next game was the Packers and the Niners, 21-24. This game was sad to watch because I felt like the Niners, they had so much going. They should have just blew them out. But that's what we thought about the Ravens too. But the Niners weren't doing what they were doing until the end. And then Jordan Love throws a pick at the end of the game. And
Jordan Love gave, respectfully, I still think the 49ers is the best team in football. Jordan Love and his inexperience gave them that game.
Yeah.
He didn't
even have to do anything.
He didn't have to do anything, and the Packers should have continued to keep running the ball because that was successful against the 49ers.
Yeah.
The 49ers could not stop the run. They could not stop Aaron Jones. They couldn't stop him. And it was just like, okay, keep running the ball. There's no need for you guys to force it, especially
Yeah, he
because
had 108 yards rushing.
right, especially because you guys were up by 7 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know, you had a formula that worked, and all they needed to do was, you know, this is why turnovers kill you. This is always why turnovers kill you. Just, you know, you still have to play the game because the 49ers still have that talent out there to just strike quickly.
Yeah, but McCaffrey just did what he did too. But then Debo got hurt too.
Debo got hurt, but George Kittle obviously stepped up, had a good game.
Yeah,
He had
81 yards a touchdown, but there was 4 passes. That's all he did.
And that's all he needed.
Yeah.
And that's all he needed.
And then Christian McCaffrey had 2 touchdowns too.
He had 2
2
touchdowns.
rushing touchdowns.
All that despite Brock Purdy really not playing well in that game. He just
Yeah, 1 throw and touchdown to George Kittle, but 252 yards, with 23 for 39.
not good. And a lot of those were just
Yeah, but so like I wasn't surprised that the Niners won. Like that was my team that I knew they were gonna win because how much of they were playing phenomenal the rest of the season and everything.
Yeah.
But if they play like that next week, I mean, this
yeah,
week,
yeah. The again, them too. The level of competition goes up in this
Yep.
next game here, and that team.
that was a sad win. That's how I put it.
You know what though? But they'll take the win.
Yeah, of course.
They'll take the win,
Who
and
wouldn't?
and you know they did what they had to do in the fourth quarter of that game, and yes, they pulled it out. That's.
Man.
Listen, respectfully, man, they won.
Really, yeah.
That's what it is. You know, and he was able to escape that game and learn a lesson for the Packers. And Jordan Love, they'll be back.
Yeah, I mean,
They'll be back.
They're both like he's not a rookie, but he's like a rookie.
Yeah.
because his first year starting. So
he'll be back. He'll
oh,
be
of
back.
course.
And
So that just shows that the Packers still know what they're doing out there without Aaron Rodgers or anything.
yeah,
so.
no, good. Always have a. They always like
Yeah, but-
you know you don't get real.
But
bad years from
they
them.
to be honest, like I said, everybody thought it was gonna take maybe a year. Like it was gonna take like 2 to 3 years. Now he showed up quick because
Right, and remember, he sat for the first 2 years of his
Yeah,
career. There's
of
a
course.
lot of knowledge he soaked up and a lot of things he know, and he's
Yeah.
been developing under the same offense, and that's why when it looked like when he came in, it was just like it seemed seamless because he knew how to run that playbook.
But
He
that's
knew
how
to-
you know that he's good at what he does. Because
Right.
even if he's not playing, he's still soaking it up, like you said.
Right.
He's still understanding the gameplay, the offense, and all that stuff to make them be successful. So shout out to him. I thought he was a bum. I'm not gonna lie because I was telling Eric and Justin Jose because they're huge Packers fans. I was telling them I was like, he's not the answer, and they was like, no, they'll tell you he is.
I couldn't make an assessment on him because I hadn't seen him play. You know,
I just felt like he was down for so long, but like to be fair, like you can't outshine Aaron Rodgers.
no, you can't. No, Jordan Love or
He
Aaron
wouldn't,
Rodgers.
he wouldn't like even
Yeah.
if he did in like what training camp, they're still gonna be like, bro, Aaron Rodgers still playing.
Aaron Rodgers still playing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
still a 4-time MVP. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's playing, and he's
So-
still playing at the. Yeah,
So-
he's not going to start, but you know, came in and they surprised, and you know they just fell short. They had a good chance to win this game.
They
too.
did.
They had a
They
good
did.
chance to win this
They
game.
just but it was because it was sloppy gameplay by the Niners.
By the Niners, right? And that
'Cause
was
they should have just smoked them, to be honest.
Right.
But like I said, the Packers, they took advantage of what they needed to in order to make it a close game.
right. And you know, good teams. That's what separate those kind of teams. The Niners did not play their best football, and yet still found a way to win that football game.
But that's the first time that they ever like won a game as they were trailing because they
Yeah.
usually lose those.
Yeah. And you know, again, that could be the inexperience of the Packers that let them do some things that you know.
But then, like you said, lesson learned, and then let's chalk it out to lesson learned, and
Yeah.
let's push forward because
Move
they
forward.
have a good.
They have a good team. They
Yeah.
have the youngest squad in the NFL. So
Do they?
yes,
Not the Texans.
not the Texans. Nope. Nope.
maybe.
The Packers have the youngest team in the NFL.
Okay.
You know, means a lot of those guys they're on rookie contracts, which means you can still go out there and get some pieces around them and develop that. You know,
There's
eventually,
a lot of people in free agency too.
yeah, they're gonna have to. You know, but they don't have to deal with that right now. So you know, they're in good space now for the next couple of years if they really want to take it to the next level.
All right, so yeah, I mean, good try to the Packers, horrible win for the Niners. That's how I see it.
Yeah, the Niners.
Sloppy.
You know,
ass win. They need to turn up because they're not playing the football they play. That's the problem.
that was an ugly, very ugly one by the foot, and very sloppy football. Some we haven't seen from them in a while.
So let's go to the next game. Bucks and Lions. Score was 23-31.
You know, just before we even start this, the best games of that divisional round were on Sunday. Both those games were really good games. You know,
I don't know. I like to see. I like to see how Lamar turned back to what he needed to do. In order
No,
to
what
get
I'm
the
saying
win.
was of the 4 games last week, the 2 games
Like
on
the
Sunday,
nail biters and shit.
those were the best games because
I mean, Baker's not a bum. I've been saying this for a while.
Baker just got himself a contract. Somebody's going to sign him to a pretty penny. Baker wasn't no bum out there
Nah.
at all. You know, and he went out there and he hung. They hung with the Lions. The Lions, made a couple of plays at made a couple of more plays at the end of the game.
Are you surprised by the Lions going this far?
No,
Why?
because of the teams that they played.
Okay.
The teams that they played, they easily could have beaten both teams that they played.
They struggled against the Rams.
The Rams figured it out, but the Rams
That was a nail biter.
aren't. Those games they happen like that.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
A
nothing
couple plays
against them.
here,
I'm
a couple plays
I'm
there.
surprised that they're this far compared to like what I thought they were going to be. They're not a bad football team. Don't get me wrong. The Lions are not a bad football team at all.
Right.
But I always thought that they don't have enough to climb the hump. Now, with that being said, would I like them to make it to Super Bowl? Of course. I mean, they're not a bad football team and everything.
Nobody wants the 49ers.
I just
Nobody wants the 49ers.
I mean, I don't mind the 49ers either way, but I like Cinderella story. The
Yeah.
Lions being in there would be great for them. They haven't been there, and God knows when. I remember I saw a post saying that the last time the Lions made the playoffs or made the division around, everybody in their starting position wasn't even born. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. It was like 1992 or something
Yeah.
like that. It was something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And that's a long time for a team. And you got to remember, in between that, they didn't make the playoffs
Yeah, that's
for
what
a
I'm
long, long time. So, no, I'm happy for their fan base. I'm happy for them. I know they must be, real excited. I'm not surprised because of the teams that they face. So
you're saying the schedule weighed
I think
weighed in their favor.
the way, it had formatted for them this year, it actually worked for them. I mean, they could have gotten
You're the same man that told me the schedule don't matter.
the schedule doesn't matter.
That's what that schedule shit got you in the playoffs and got you that one playoff win against Minnesota.
Absolutely not.
Oh my god!
Absolutely not. We took advantage. We took advantage of teams that we were playing. The teams might have been hurt.
By the schedule.
Why are we still talking about
Oh
that
my
though?
god! I'm just because it doesn't.
I'm just saying the way the teams were formatted. Yes, it worked
You're the
out.
most inconsistent guy in this podcast.
No,
so
because
I want the audience
It
to know
wouldn't.
that.
It wouldn't have worked out. So
Either way,
you know.
all right. So it was a good game. Baker did his thing. I feel, but what do you think Bucks need to do to climb the hump next?
they first off they need to get Baker signed. That's the first thing.
They think they're gonna pay him?
They have to pay him something. He's not because what other quarterback are you going to find out there that? All right, here's the thing. Here's a guy who came in. He came in as he was fighting just to make the team.
Well, yeah, because he's been through a lot of different teams.
Because teams giving up on him, which they shouldn't, and they did prematurely. I don't know why. They had that guy Troust, as their starting quarterback to go into the training camp. Baker Mayfield,
in
the
Tampa?
Buccaneers, yeah.
I never thought of that. I thought no
Yeah.
matter what, I thought Baker was gonna start because like I said, I always seen Baker as talent, but I just feel like it wasn't. It might sound cliche, but it wasn't his destiny to be in those positions in those games because there's no way as a struggling Browns franchise, I don't think Baker was good enough to bring him out.
It wasn't. They weren't even struggling. People got to remember the first 2 years that Baker was in the NFL, he made the playoffs. He made the playoffs with the Browns. It wasn't
Sure.
like.
I don't think he was the guy to But I said I always seen Baker, and I didn't think he was a bum or anything. But I don't think he was the guy to pull that franchise out. He's
because he
great
never had the
role
chance
player.
because they.
But I can say the same thing for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback, but he's not gonna be what it is to pull Minnesota out and do what they got to do. It would be Justin Jefferson, not him. But he's not a bad quarterback. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's what I'm trying to compare
he's not
to-
a bad
to
quarterback.
Baker.
But
Baker's a good and he's tough. I feel like he's a great value Josh Allen, Baker. That's what
no, he is. He's got moxie. He's got
Yeah,
swag.
yeah.
He can play and he's tough.
Yep.
And he, they ran that offense real well. The defense kind of, let them down.
Yeah.
Even though they played well all season, but kind of let them down.
They played well against the Eagles and
they played well enough for Baker and them to stay in that game, but when it counted, ultimately that game came down to the last 4.5 minutes of that game. Because after they had scored that touchdown and they turned it into a 1 touchdown game, the Buccaneers never got the football back. Their defense needed to make a couple of stops just to simply give them a chance to get the ball again to tie the game. And the Lions made sure they made first down after first down to make sure.
What was his name? C.J. Gardner-Johnson?
C.J. Gardner-Johnson,
Yeah, trolled him too. He got the pick. He was saying stuff about Baker before, and he got the pick, and it was like he passed it right back to him. Like, here you go. Baker threw that shit.
I mean, listen, good game. Good game.
Yeah, good overall.
Good overall game.
They'll
They
be
hung
back.
in there.
I think they're gonna smoke the NFC South next year. They need to. They just need to make some tweaking, and then they could just be. They won it this year. Right?
they won it this year. They got Baker as a free
barely.
agent. Mike Evans is a free agent. They got some pieces that they got to figure out what they're going to do if they want to make a run at it.
But also they got some money that they need to dish out too, like you said.
So let's see. But
And then they're high in the draft, so it's not like they can pick somebody up.
right, they're not high in the draft. So their first they just got to resign Baker, and I think if they resign Baker, they can figure everything else out after that. He's the best quarterback for them. Not high enough to pick none of these other quarterbacks coming out of college. So you might as well just give Baker Mayfield his little money and roll with that.
How much do you think he's worth?
Baker Mayfield, easy. If Baker Mayfield went out there and said, "Hey, he wants 25 to 30 a year,"
That's light for them.
no problem. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. You definitely earned that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's cheap for a quarterback.
You definitely earned that. It's very cheap for a quarterback.
Yeah, because Joe Burrow's like 55.
Joe Burrow is 50. Jesus
So
Christ.
that's a year, and then like he's the highest right now. But there's obviously it's always gonna go higher because the market for a quarterback and everything. But
so it's a
but
couple
25,
of
30, they just shut up and decided to check. Yo, come on, let's go.
Yeah,
Baker.
just
That's all he
give
wants
him
to
the
do.
check, sign the check, get him around, and try to go for it again next season in that division.
Because like I said, the market and then the salary cap's gonna go higher because like you said, the market's going higher for a quarterback and everything. So hopefully other teams could benefit from that, as my team as well with that. But let's move forward to the last game. I'll let you take the reins on this one.
Chiefs and Bills. Chiefs 27, Bills 24. Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback god, bro. The quarterback god, bro.
Jesus, I don't know what I did.
Let me tell you, man. Patrick Mahomes went in there and did Patrick Mahomes stuff, man. He's a legend, And realistically, the only problem I really have with this game, because that was a really good game too. The only problem I really have with this game. The only problem I really have with this game is Buffalo. You have one of the best receivers in Stephon Diggs on the field. How come he only got 3 catches for 21 yards?
Because he dropped like 4.
He didn't drop 4.
You see, he dropped that perfect pass.
That wasn't him.
That was him.
That wasn't him.
It was like a 63-yard pass in the air, and it was just him and another guy, and it hit him right in the pocket. He dropped it.
The 20. Allen again launches one long for Diggs. Oh, and it went through his hands.
Oh my goodness, this was launched.
If Stephon Diggs is as good as Stephon Diggs thinks he is, he needs to make those. I get it's tough. I get it was cold. There's no way. But it was your home field, and Stephon Diggs need to make those. Because that one catch would have
but it was 2 of them, and he didn't get targeted like that. No, he didn't. He didn't get targeted like that. He threw it to some other guys. They were
Shakur.
Shakur
And he had a more impact than Stephon Diggs.
Everybody on that team had more impact than Stephon Diggs.
But that's the thing.
But that's the problem.
It's not.
It can't be.
You cannot blame that game on Josh Allen.
I don't blame the game on Josh Allen.
Did phenomenal.
Of course they did. Of course they did. I mean, it's not their fault. They're the wire right crew. Everything they do.
They should have won that game. But like I said, those key passes that he dropped, and then he could have did a little bit more to get. So you cannot blame anything on Josh Allen.
Here's what happened: the Buffalo Bills in the first half ran the ball on the Chiefs. They had the momentum going into the second half.
I'm looking at the stats right now.
The Chiefs found a way to contain the run a little bit, and now forced Josh Allen to go out there and use his playmakers. His playmakers were literally.
Josh Allen did everything he needed to do.
Josh Allen did everything he needed to do.
He had 72 yards rushing.
Okay, he had
2
a touchdown.
rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
1 passing touchdown. What else could he do? And he went 26 for 39, which is horrible for 186 yards because he had to do it because the Chiefs defense is not a slouch. They know
they're no slouch. No, they are no slouch. But Josh Allen did everything. But Josh Allen is getting ready. He's getting stick with that label now because every time in big games, Josh Allen cannot seem to win the big game ever.
But that you can't blame that on him at all.
I don't blame it on Josh Allen.
to be
I
honest,
don't blame it on Josh Allen.
I don't like the Chiefs and everything, but my team's better than the Chiefs, and we already proved that because our record's better, regardless of the case. But I'll tell you this for a fact: Mahomes is different in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. Listen,
He's different in the playoffs. But the Chiefs did what they needed to do to win this game because they should have lost. But to be fair, every Buffalo fan, to be fair, if Buffalo didn't have the injuries that they had, they would have smoked them. The way they played there, they would have smoked them. Because you're not going to double, triple team Stephon Diggs when you see Gabriel Davis out on the field.
that sounds like an issue that hey, sorry it happens. Injuries happen. Injuries happen.
And then you're not going to have Patrick Mahomes running in, we're doing all this stuff, Isaiah Pacheco running when you have Matt Milano on the field too.
Hey,
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
They hurt themselves because their team wasn't all
injuries
yes.
wasn't. It's a part of the game. It's part of this thing at this time of the year.
They had way more injuries than any other team in the playoffs. So with that being said, if they were there prepared with a healthy team, they would have killed them.
You would like to think that the outcome would have been different.
It definitely would have.
Could they have
Matt Milano is a game changer. Is he not?
No, hey, I never said
Isaiah Pacheco wouldn't have 100 yards rushing and a touchdown. Or he probably get the touchdown, but he wouldn't have 100 run. He does phenomenal. I like Isaiah Pacheco. I'm a fan of Isaiah Pacheco, but Matt Milano is different.
Listen,
He would have contained something better. Travis Kelce would have had 2 touchdowns because Matt Milano's right there in the center field.
Mahomes is a quarterback god.
I don't know about the god,
He's
but
a quarterback
he's
god
in the
right
playoffs.
now. He is different in the playoffs.
So, like I said, I respect
They
him
had
and
all
everything.
the momentum
I
going
don't-
into halftime,
Listen,
and Mahomes
just
made
because
sure.
I don't like him and his team because I'm a Bengals fan, I still have to give respect to when it's earned.
Yeah,
So with that being said, he needs to keep the same energy, or it's not he's getting stopped.
but he has been. Everybody's been saying he has been. He has been. Everybody.
Are we done with this one?
Mahomes is the dude.
Because the first game is that game, so we could just
Sure.
nice segue.
Sure.
You sure?
Why not? Yeah, sure.
All right. Predictions for next game. Next week Sunday. The next game is the first game is the Chiefs and Ravens. Is the AFC Conference
And
Championship.
only because
And it's in Baltimore.
they're the West Coast team is playing, they have to put that one later. That one should be the last game.
Should. So who you got?
This is tough.
This is tough.
This is tough. This is tough. This is tough. There's just certain things that
There's a lot of factors because now we're gonna hit key points. Let's go.
There's a lot of things that's got to be overcome. This is a tough one to decide. Actually,
This is gonna be a phenomenal game. I can't
it
wait.
is. Man,
Chiefs Ravens, and it's in Baltimore. It's not in Arrowhead. I mean,
there's
Burrowhead.
well, how did they get even incorporated? There's so much to this.
Who do you got? Damn, the silence.
The silence, because this is a tough one. If I have to pick right now, I'm
You
gonna
had to
take.
put money on it.
I'm probably gonna take the Ravens. I'm probably
That's
gonna take the
shocking.
Ravens. Yeah. No, it's not. Listen,
But you just said Mahomes is a quarterback guy.
right, and that's what made me have to sit here and really think about it. Because if you really look at it on paper and spread out, the Ravens have a much better team than the Chiefs do.
Oh yeah, on paper they're fucking phenomenal.
Right,
There's
you
nothing.
know,
There's no
if,
way, no wrong that the Ravens could do on paper to lose.
If you're asking me right now,
If they did a computer simulator, Ravens will win 99% of the time on paper.
if I have to look at it and I got to look at that Chiefs receiving core,
But Mahomes is different.
but
than last
Mahomes,
year.
and that's the thing, and that's why I had to sit here and really think about it, because I'm like, with that receiving core, no other quarterback outside of Patrick Mahomes has a chance of winning that game with that team. You know, their defense is going to have to really play special in this game. You know, for them to kind of keep themselves in it until Mahomes could possibly figure it out on offense with Kelce or whichever receiver decides.
figured it out this game. He got 2 touchdowns.
Whatever receiver decides they want to catch the ball on Sunday. Whoever decides they want to catch the ball.
Race. But it's not even on that. It is the Ravens defense.
The Ravens,
too.
right? It is also the Ravens defense, and with that receiving core, listen, the Texans, who I think right now have a better receiving core, even with guys out than Kansas City does.
Tank Dale's out.
Tank Dell is out. You know, Collins, but they had a better receiving core than what the Chiefs are going to put out there. The Chiefs receiving core outside of Travis Kelce It's not good. I don't even think it's professional level, to be honest with you.
Even with Travis Kelce, he
I
had 5 catches,
said
2
take
touchdowns.
out Travis Kelce.
Oh.
Travis Kelce is the tight end. Take
That's
out
a
Travis.
say.
Take out Travis Kelce.
He still receives the ball.
If you
Receptions.
that wide receiver core, you take out Travis Kelce, that is not even a professional wide receiving room. It's
Richie James is there. What the hell are you talking about? He's just doing backflips when he's winning the games.
Richie James, Kadarius Toney.
Nah, Kadarius Toney is injured. He's injured. They're making sure his ass
Shocker.
stays injured for the rest of the year.
Shocker.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, this.
But to be honest, listen, what I would have wanted the Chiefs to do to make this game interesting on paper, because like I said, you cannot deny Mahomes in the playoffs, right? But on paper, they should have did what the Ravens did and what the Lions have done. Have you seen that?
Which was
The Ravens picked up that Dalvin Cook. He's going to play.
and the Lions picked up Zach Ertz, and they should have
Yep.
found somebody they could pick up.
Something.
They need you
They should have picked up John Ross III.
You put a competent receiver on that Chiefs team, and I'm picking the Chiefs all the way because Mahomes is that dude. But that Ravens defense is so good.
So you got the Ravens. That's shocking to me.
I got to take the Ravens in this one. It's a tough one to.
If you had to predict the score.
If I had to predict
Close?
the score, it's going to be close. Mahomes is the reason it stays close. You know, eventually Baltimore has more playmakers and they can do more things.
Give me a score.
I'll give you 30-24 Ravens. 30-24.
All right. So you want me to give you this breakdown analysis that I've been thinking about this heavy. 'Cause
Sure.
Like I said, I think this game's gonna be phenomenal.
Sure.
But the only way the Chiefs have a chance if Mahomes plays critical to what needs to be done here. So with that being said, is Mahomes needs to rush, has at least a rushing touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco needs a rushing touchdown, and Travis Kelce needs a catch touchdown minimum. And then Mahomes needs about like 50 to 70 yards rushing. Isaiah Pacheco needs about 100 yards rushing. And then Travis Kelce needs about 100 yards receiving. Minimum to another stand a chance. So
Yeah.
I feel like if it comes down to the wire and it's like 31-28 and then it's about to end in a field goal, the Ravens have the best fucking kicker ever.
Yeah.
So there's no way they're going to lose that. If it goes in Justin Tucker's hand, but if it lays in his feet, that shit's going up.
I don't think that the Chiefs on whatever could contain that much of the Ravens offense.
That's what I'm saying.
So what the Chiefs are going to have to do, particularly on defense,
But like I said, their defense is no slouch.
there's no slouch. So they're going to have to create turnover. They're going to have to
Yeah.
at least create a turnover or two in this game.
But
to-
like I said,
to-
for
to make it-
Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Pacheco to do all that, they need the defense to be slacking, and that's
and
not
that's
gonna
that
happen.
that defense is really plus. Kansas City don't have enough playmakers on offense.
It's just those three.
You're right. They don't have enough playmakers on offense.
The X factor is Rashid Rice.
It's gonna have to be. And do you really trust Rashid Rice as a rookie? If they decide to put Marlon Humphrey on that kid, do you really think that they have a chance? No.
No, but the
No.
thing is, he has to be there because they need
No,
to.
and if-
because Travis Kelce can't do what he could do to Patrick Queen.
Or Roquan Smith.
Yeah, right there. Because
Because
they're
those,
waiting.
they're, they're good cover linebackers as well. Yeah,
Exactly.
and then their safeties can cover. They got Kyle Hamilton back there as the
Yep.
top safety. He could cover too.
Yep.
So this is not going to be no easy game for Travis Kelce to go out there and play pitch and catch on.
Yep.
You know,
But Travis Kelce's still Travis Kelce.
he's still Travis Kelce, so you could probably get something. You could scheme him open for some plays. They need help from Pacheco because
Yeah.
they got to run the football. They have to run the football.
But Clowney he was a monster against
Right.
the Texans too. I think he had like two sacks.
Well, respectfully, the Chiefs line is a little bit better than the Texans offensive line, so maybe that might predicate
he
to
stopped
do
the
something
run.
different. No, and he's only been good at the run.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs have to run the ball,
That's tough.
and Mahomes
'Cause when they-
is enough to keep the game close
Because
without other things happening.
Sure, but if they keep running the ball to make Pacheco be dominant and he gets hurt, it's over.
It's over, yeah.
So I feel like it's either going to be a close game or a fucking blowout. That's how it might be.
It's all right. The blowout obviously will favor the Ravens because
Yeah.
there's no way that
If they get an intel, It's hard to
Here's the
come
thing,
back.
and,
It's gonna
and that's
be
the thing.
super hard to come
Even
back.
with Patrick Mahomes, I cannot see how the Ravens, with the type of talent that they have,
Overall.
lose this game at home.
Because I can tell you right now, even if Lamar throws 3 picks, he's gonna be like, you know what? I'm stop throwing. I'm gonna run on this shit. That's
Right.
what he's gonna do.
But here's the thing, though. If the Chiefs do win, will I be surprised? No.
I wouldn't be surprised, but it needs to be a lot of variables that happen. There should be a lot of fuck ups from the Ravens. A lot. They had to be like 4 picks, 2 fumbles.
Right. And here's the thing with the Ravens. Here's where you can get the Ravens at. The Ravens, they get themselves penalized a lot. Mm-hmm. Their discipline is still, for all the talent that they have, and the talent makes up for sometimes the lack of discipline they do have. Yeah. There's been games where I've seen them in double-digit penalties, and I'm like, they still won this game, and they had all these penalties. Yeah. This team, the Chiefs is the type. Mahomes is the type of quarterback that could capitalize on a penalty,
and getting an extra third down.
So yes. Yo, he's not even gonna let this go, bro. Let it go, man.
Give him an extra third down. He's doing so with it.
Oh my God,
Just
man.
saying.
Anyway, that's a whole different year, whole different championship game.
No.
Except the participating quarterback in red, number 15, is still the same.
It hurts me to go for the Ravens because they're in my division, but there's no way on paper. Even Patrick Mahomes being as good as he is, and his team being good as, and Andy Reid being a great coach. There's no way I could pick.
But that's why
the Chiefs to win.
But that's why when you first asked me, it was tough for me to sit here. I had to really think because I'm like, I can't go against Mahomes in the playoffs. It's stupid to do that.
Everything going,
but the Ravens
kicker better.
The Ravens,
maybe let's say
no. That is the one area. That is the only area on the field where the Chiefs have
better. It's experience that's not better.
Okay, that's the one area in this football game where the Chiefs do have the advantage at.
Yeah, but Mark Andrews is coming back, like you said.
Mark Andrews is coming back.
Isaiah Likely's been cooking too.
He's been cooking. Zay Flowers is out there. Dalvin Cook, Odell Beckham, Zay Flowers, Gus Edwards.
That's offense. They have a lot of weapons.
Lamar Jackson as the second part of that running game.
Yep.
That team is very, very scary. But Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes, and I know he's gonna have some tricks in the bag.
Of course,
that's going.
I can see Travis Kelce doing like a lateral sort of touchdown.
Like
he needs to do side.
Like and honestly, I think for the Chiefs to win, somebody else. It's gonna have to be a Richie James. It's gonna be
Do you think Richie James got it in him to do that?
Man, it's gonna be difficult, bro. it's gonna be difficult.
They're gonna
need
Chris Jones is gonna need like 4 sacks.
He's gonna need a monster game. They're gonna need a monster game up front. You're gonna have to. It's tough for the Chiefs to win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but this is tough, and I can't predict them to do that either.
Yep.
And they're the road team. I can't.
Yep, and that home crowd different too.
Yeah, I can't. And the Ravens are really gonna have to shit the bed in this one.
Exactly.
Like bad. I got to take the Ravens. This is none against, because I still think Mahomes is the quarterback god. I just don't think he has enough pieces around him to.
If he's Jesus, then Joe Burrow's God.
No.
It's his son.
Get out of here. You win 2 MVPs, 2 Super Bowl rings. Then you have the nerve to put Joe Burrow then on the same level on Patrick Mahomes. They are not the same.
He's better.
They are not the same.
He's better.
He's not better. They're not the same.
Yep.
2 MVPs, 2 Super Bowl titles. They are not the same. They are not the same right now.
Every single time Joe Burrow got hurt, he comes back with a vengeance.
They are not the same right now.
Either way, I gave him more than enough credit than I fucking needed to give Mahomes.
You have to give it to him. You have to give it to him.
Yep.
You have to give it to him.
Next game.
Get that man his due.
49ers Lions. Who you got? This game's tough for me.
I'm taking the 49ers. Here's why.
Sure.
Here's why. I do not believe in the Lions defensively. At all. At all.
So,
at all.
Trent Williams plays left guard.
Left tackle.
Left tackle, right?
Right.
And who's on the right tackle? Because Aiden Hutchinson is a fucking monster. That's the best way to describe it. And he's going to get through. And you don't believe in that defense?
the San Francisco 49ers offense isn't predicated on going vertical. They're a horizontal offense, meaning that Brock Purdy gets he only does 3 to 5 step drops, and the football is out of his hands quickly.
I think the X factor is Deebo plays. I believe he's playing, but he got hurt. But if he doesn't play, that's gonna hurt them.
Here's the thing.
I would say this too. So you picking the Niners?
I'm taking the Niners. Yes.
I want the Lions, right? But there's no we go back to where we said the Niners on paper should win 9 times out of 10, but the Niners need to fuck up in order to lose this game. That's how I feel about it.
Like if they played the same way, the Lions are a much better team. If let's say they played the same way they did last week, the Lions would absolutely take advantage of that.
Yeah, if the Niners play the same, if they play the same way they play on the Packers, the Lions is cooking.
Here's the problem. I also believe that the Packers have a little bit of a better defense than the Lions do. The Lions,
you got Jair Alexander,
right? The Lions are offensively. For them to win this game, they're gonna have to run the ball because they can do that. They can run the ball.
Jameer Gibbs is nice.
Yes, he brings a different element to that offense, yep. And then you're gonna have to make sure you are on point in the passing game. The Lions are pretty much gonna have to score touchdowns, and they're gonna have to hold the ball. Do not give that 49ers offense that ball. Don't give them that football because
in the last quarter.
Not in the last quarter, not nothing. Do not give them that football because if they have that football on offense more than the Lions do, that game could be close, but it might not be either. The Lions have nobody to stop George Kittle. They have nobody to stop Christian McCaffrey. They have nobody out there who can really. If Deebo Samuel plays, that means that's going to open it up for Brandon Ayuk. Yep. For the Lions defense, the 49ers are a bad matchup. And, while the Bucs have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, they're not. That's not the caliber of what the 49ers have.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. 100%.
And that's where I got to pick the 49ers at.
I mean, overall, like I said, the 49ers need to fuck up this game. They need to fuck it up. They need to shit the bed. That's the best way to describe it. If they shit the bed, they're gonna lose. But I don't see them losing. I mean, I would want the Lions to win. My Super Bowl prediction is Ravens and Lions. I know the world Super Bowl prediction is the Chiefs and the Lions, and I hate that for football in general.
For football, that would be bad.
Because for media, it's gonna be phenomenal. Because I keep seeing these stupid memes and pictures, and it's just Taylor Swift and Kansas City Chief, and then you see the Lions and Eminem. I'm like, what the fuck? Nobody cares about that. For football fans, I want Lions and Ravens. But for real football, hard game, phenomenal game, it's gotta be 49ers and Ravens.
It's gotta be for the fans. It's gotta be because those are the two best teams in the NFL. But to
cater to the media, like they said, everybody keeps saying the script is written, and the NFL plays around with that too. It's like, hey, look at the script. But I mean, it's kind of true when you look at the colors for the Super Bowl for purple and red, so it'll be the Niners and the Ravens, but I would like the Ravens and the Lions, but to be a phenomenal game and sit there and enjoy it, Ravens and Niners. But I want the Lions to make it.
I think the Lions and the Chiefs will be a much more competitive football game because I don't even think the Lions against the Ravens potentially, if that was to happen, that's not competitive.
I want it for their franchise and their organization. I want the Lions to make it.
The Lions are...
But in order to, like I said, that's what I would want for them.
The Lions are a defense away from being what the 49ers are, from being what the Ravens are. The Lions are a defense away, and they need a couple of pieces on defense.
I feel like the Lions have a better quarterback.
The Lions have a better quarterback in Jared Goff than Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
Sure, you can make that argument, yeah. Yeah.
It's a fact. I don't feel like it's an argument.
Yeah. You can make that argument, sure. I won't say that, sure. But Brock Purdy has the same things that Jared Goff has around him on his team. except that the skill players are a little bit better for the Lions, and the skill players are a little bit better for the Niners, and the Niners defense is better.
Not a little bit better. It's a lot better.
It's
You
a lot
compare
better.
Jameer Gibbs
To Christian McCaffrey. No.
all day.
No. Matt LaPorta is no George Kittle. He wants to get there someday.
He would. This is rookie year.
He wants to get there someday, but he's not on that level
But
right now.
they got Zach Ertz for now.
They got Zach Ertz for
because
now.
they had two injured. The other backers are injured. That's
And Laporta is hurt too, believe it or not.
yeah, he's banged up. He's not.
And Debo is out there with Ayuk, and you can't. There's no way. It's how do you?
And you got to think about the Niners defense.
And that Niners defense too. They can rush the passer, but the Lions have a good offensive line, so that can mitigate that. Now you get to the second level, and
Fred
Warner, and Dre and Dre Glasgow, and these guys. That's a good linebacking core right there.
Yep.
Travarius Ward in the secondary. He's a kind of a shutdown for the 49ers, so they could just put him on Amon-Ra St. Brown and tell him go have fun out there.
Have fun. He's not no slouch,
No, he's not a slouch, but that'd be a good matchup, and then the 49ers know they could play that matchup one-on-one, and then they could focus on everything else on that offense. Offense. That offense. I don't know how I say it like that. The offense.
So who do you want for the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, Ravens and 49ers, because that'd be the best matchup.
He's phenomenal. You're looking at it.
That'd be the best matchup.
Yeah. So you don't think it's Mahomes' year? You don't think he could defend the Super Bowl title? I'm surprised for the struggle of the year they had that they're up there.
Because Mahomes is a quarterback god.
Holy crap!
But even the god himself, Mahomes is not enough
That
to
means
lag.
Lamar must be atheist.
Lamar ain't atheist. Lamar just has more talent around him. Lamar has a far more talent around him on his side of the football.
Lamar's been better overall all year.
Lamar has been. He's gonna win the MVP because he has
I mean, we've been going for a little bit, so we can say the MVP conversation for Dice next episode because Dice he actually wanted to do that.
Yeah,
he had the finalists and everything.
Yeah, and we could actually give a talk about that because we only have 2 games to cover next week.
Yeah, so we'll do that next week, next episode. But Super Bowl's coming, so you think it's gonna be the Niners and the Ravens?
I think it's gonna be the Niners and the Ravens. Yes.
What do you want? The Niners and Ravens?
The right Niners and the Ravens. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I'm not
because
right
now it's even.
I think the Ravens going. They got to.
Because
but I'm shocked that they're going. That team, they made a connection quick because this is the first year Odell's there. This first year Zay Flowers is there.
They just naturally, Zay Flowers and Odell alone puts more talent around that team.
Mark Andrews was injured for a good bit of the season.
Just putting Odell and Zay Flowers gives Lamar Jackson this season more talent than he's ever had in his whole career. Their defense was
Ravens defense was never bad.
They were never bad, and they never been bad.
Yep.
But you seen it this year. You seen it this year. You seen the Ravens never had to score much during the regular season. That defense would literally take games over. And everybody's like,
but the offense, they did score, and then Lamar get benched on the fourth quarter.
Right. And then the offense comes out here, and that defense is really, really good. Really good for Baltimore. And Mahomes, for as great as he is, he don't have the type of firepower to keep up with Lamar and them if they're on their game, man.
Of course.
He doesn't.
The Ravens have to mess up something fierce.
They got to do something. A couple of turnovers have to happen. They have to kill themselves with penalties. They have to, they have to,
and they very well could. You know what I mean? But I don't see it.
I don't like doubting Mahomes, man. I don't want to doubt Mahomes, man. And I don't doubt Mahomes. But the talent on the Ravens is just too
much.
It's too much. It's too far superior than what the Chiefs have on both sides of the football, to be honest with you.
I agree. I want Ravens and Lions, but like I said, for a competitive game, I don't see that happening. I'll take Ravens and Niners.
But you know what? The Lions.
But I just want the Lions fit, like I said, the organization. And
the Lions making it will probably be the story of the whole entire Super Bowl week. The whole entire Super Bowl week. They would get that would be bad news for that team. Bad news for that team. But, they made a lot of strides. So good for them. The fact that they're even in this game. But even in this game, I think they're outmatched.
Yeah, but even every game they've been playing, I feel like there's been a bigger level of doubt for the Lions. Because I had it. I'm not going to lie. when they played the Rams, I said the Rams had it.
Yeah, I thought the Rams had it too.
Right?
Yeah.
And then who they just played?
The Bucks.
The Bucks.
But
I thought
I
the Bucks
expect-
was no slouch. I thought it was gonna be a good game.
I actually pulled the Lions out for that. I thought the Lions were going to win that one because it just seemed
The way it was going, it looked like the Bucks was going, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they win. But then I was a little more surprised the
it's-
Lions did.
But this is a better matchup, though. To be honest with you,
What?
the Lions
The
as opposed to the
Niners?
Bucks. Yeah, as opposed to the Bucks.
Oh yeah.
This is a better matchup
Agreed.
because the Bucks literally would have had no chance.
Yeah.
None.
Even if they played,
Even if they played at their high, they had no chance. The Lions on
Yeah,
offense at their highest level can actually keep up and make this an actual game with the 49ers.
Agreed.
You know, and put some doubt into the 49er fans' mind about them doing this.
Yeah, like maybe they could.
And for the Lions' sake, they better hope that game against the Packers was the worst that the 49ers played. Because if they even take it up a step over there, this game probably is.
I don't know if it was like maybe it could have been. I don't want to think conspiracy things or whatever, but like
It was-
maybe the 49ers did that intentionally to throw off the line.
No, I don't think so. Sometimes,
because they always watch film and be like, all right, what's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? And then if they just showed shit, and they could be like, and then they just turn up another level.
Here's what happened.
It's
Here's what
different.
happened. Because we saw the same thing in the Ravens game too. Both the Ravens and the 49ers had the bye week. You see in the first half of the Ravens game, they were sloppy. They were a little sloppy. You know, 49ers, instead of being a half, they got sloppy until the fourth quarter when they had to make plays to pull it out. You know, having that 13, 14 days off, you could tell they were a little sluggish. They were a little rusty coming out the box. Both the Packers and the Packers and the Texans had just come off a game. So
Yeah.
you know,
Big
So even if the 49ers step up a notch, they play up a notch. That Lions game might not be as close as everybody might think it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's you know.
Can't wait though. This is what as a fan, this is what you live for: competitive
Yeah.
football and great football.
Yeah.
And that's what it's gonna keep going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be worth watching, man.
And then next year is gonna be better because the Bengals gonna be in there. But there's something I do want to touch up on. You see all these new head coaches?
Boy.
Did you see that?
Yes. And you see the one name that's not in there, right?
Belichick.
Yeah.
The Falcons said they hired somebody else.
They hired Raheem Morris. He was the defensive coordinator for the Rams. He also is the former coach of the Tampa Bay Bucks. So he gets a second chance in that division. Harbaugh going to the Chargers.
Yep.
You know, just
And then Brian Callahan, my offensive coordinator, and for the Bengals.
yes, he's going to
the
Titans.
Titans.
Yes,
And
that's what I wanted to talk to you about. That's a huge loss.
No.
Why not?
I mean, it is. He's great. I don't think he was like.
It's not the same as losing Lou Almiron, right?
Yeah. I'd rather lose Brian Callahan than Lou Anarumo. But to be fair, I don't know. Maybe it's better. But he coaches from the press box, Brian Callahan, instead of being on the field. To
Zach
me-
Taylor's going to run that offense next year.
No, you don't know who we picked up.
Who?
We didn't pick up anybody. We hired within. We gave our quarterback coach the offensive position, offensive head coordinator. He's the offensive coordinator now.
That's smart,
Yeah.
especially because he's worked with Burrow this whole time. So,
Burrow,
and
Browning,
all of them.
all them. So
yeah.
like he's done, and he's been there in an organization 8 years. His name is Dan Pitcher. So
All right, so he's been under Zach Taylor,
Yep.
like getting the knowledge and everything.
Yep. So
I thought Zach Taylor would probably run that offense because that's what he does.
Zach Taylor still does, no matter what. You see
Yeah.
him calling plays and everything on the sideline. But a lot of head coaches do that. Your boy, what's his name? The Bull?
Dable.
Yeah, he does the same thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a congratulations to Brian Callahan and everything, but I don't see it as big as a loss as compared to Lou Anarumo, and that's still a scary topic because he's still up there. He still wants a head coaching job.
I think I haven't seen his name in a lot of stuff. I think he might get passed. You guys might keep your defensive coordinator, which for crying out loud, like
The only reason I feel like he might get passed is because he hasn't. This year's defense was a little sloppy.
was it?
Calm down.
Was it?
But it wasn't. It wasn't like really in his realm. Like it wasn't like I feel like it wasn't his fault,
So let me
per
ask
se.
you a question.
There's
You
a
mean
lot
it
of
wasn't
youth.
his- all right, with the youth that you speak of,
Yeah,
you guys won 9 games this season. Was that more your offense or was that more your defense?
to win the games.
Yes. You know the answer to that question.
Yeah,
It was your defense.
yeah. But that's
It was your
still
defense.
young,
Your
and
defense
inexperienced.
being able to get to
But
the
only
quarterback,
reason
being
is-
able to create turnovers.
It's because of the offense of Joe Burrow being out and Jake Browning stepping up. But like I said, you can't completely blame the offense from there because of
The defense even played well enough where if your offense did something the first 4 weeks of the season, you probably would have won 3 of those games.
Well, that's because Joe Burrow was hurt too. Regardless,
We can't keep going to the Joe Burrow being hurt situation.
it's not a fact. But look,
It is a fact. He's always
Washington Commanders. They still got the position up because they fired Ron Rivera. So I had to bring this up real quick just to make sure we get our facts there.
Okay.
The Falcons hired Raheem Morris, like you said. The Panthers.
They hired the Buccaneers offensive coordinator in a
Dave
wild
Campbell's,
move.
which was surprising to me because
It was surprising to everybody because his name wasn't on the list of people to be
Yep.
hired. But
The Chargers picked up Jim Harbaugh. The Titans, like I said, we go back to Brian Callahan. I like his acceptance speech. He gave a lot of shout out to the Bengals, and he was like, Zach Taylor's phenomenal all day, and then he was crying, he was emotional, but respectfully. And then the Raiders, they did something right. And
they hired Antonio Pierce. They did the right thing finally.
But, you think they did it right, or you think that they were under the pressure?
Absolutely, because they screwed up the year before when they had the other interim coach who the players had begged to keep on and to hire. Instead, they go hire Josh McDaniels and turn their season into a dumpster fire until Antonio Pierce came along.
Because a lot of the players was like threatening. I want to say that's the best way to say it because Devontae said, "If you don't hire him, I need a trade." And so did Max Crosby.
But this is why you need to listen to your players. You have to listen to your players because obviously their players will listen to him. They'll follow his lead. He'll be able to lead them. They'll be competitive because of that. You know,
they back it up.
They backed it up in the last 9 games that they played.
Yep.
You know, they actually look like a legitimate football team. You know,
So there's that.
who you put the right quarterback in that system, and they're probably a playoff team.
Jake Browning.
Listen to that. The Panthers' job, that one.
That's shocking.
It's shocking, and I don't know what this guy is. I don't know what type of a coach he's going to be.
But he has a struggle. They don't.
Not the coach I would have picked. I would have not picked a young coach, a first-time coach for that job. That job needs
Experience.
They need experience.
They need Belichick.
They need experience because the first thing that team has to learn how to do is they have to learn how to be a team, actually. They need some structure, learn how to win, learn how to do things. That's a young team. They need a Belichick. They needed a Harbaugh. They needed a coach who has experience to go in there and to try. I know why they hired this young guy because your quarterback is young. That's a relationship you could build between, whatever. But they didn't need him as a coach. They needed an established coach who has
the worst team, the worst record in football.
The worst record in football after having the number 1 overall pick and would have had the number 1 overall pick again if they didn't trade it for Bryce Young.
Yeah.
You need somebody to get in there who can develop a quarterback immediately.
And then the Patriots hired Jerry Mayo.
And they hired Jerome Mayo, which, the Patriots are the Patriots.
So, I think the only head coach position available is the Commanders.
It's the Commanders, yeah.
So you think that they'll be like Belichick?
Oh
no, I'm lying. The Seahawks too.
The Seahawks as well.
Because
they're taking a while to hire a coach. The Seahawks.
Yeah, the Seahawks too. So it's Commanders and the Seahawks. That threw me off that they did not sign
Belichick.
for the Falcons.
Belichick might be better fit in Seattle, if anything.
I just feel like they didn't hire Belichick in Atlanta because they probably didn't agree to the money. That's what it's.
Not only the money.
There's no way you don't deny. You can't deny.
It's not only the money. You got to remember, Belichick is Belichick, and he's earned his cachet.
Yeah.
He's gonna say, not only do I want to be the coach, but I want to be charged. And I want to be also in charge of the player personnel that is on my team, like he was in New England.
And they probably was all.
And they probably was like, no, and you're gonna cost a lot.
Yep.
And you're.
It's rightfully so, though.
Yeah, and rightfully so. His track record speaks everything.
Yeah.
Imagine
going into the interview with Belichick. What the fuck did you ask him? Why do you want this job?
Why do you want this job? That is the only question you should ask him. I'm thinking Belichick walk in the office. The only question that should be asked is, "What's your terms?" That's it.
Well, how much you want?
How much you want? What is your terms? The only thing we're negotiating right now is your terms. We have to see if we agree to a couple of things or not. That's it. There's no way you get Belichick in that building with his resume and tell him to walk out, knowing that.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder what the hell happened. He probably said the same thing. It was like, yeah, I need to change your whole coaching division.
I need to change the offense. I need to do this.
Yeah, and they'd like,
nah. Because defensively, that team is ready for Belichick to come in there and take that to the next level defensively.
Jesse Bates out
they're
there,
ready.
He's ready.
They need a quarterback, and they're in the position draft wise to get a quarterback if they want to develop a quarterback. Belichick may or may not be the right move. Raheem Morris may or may not be the right move for them.
He's not, there's still two head coaching positions available. You got the Commanders and the Seahawks. So let's see what happens. The
Commanders is a huge. That rebuild is going to be ridiculous.
You think so?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
They don't have bad people.
They don't have bad people, but the things that they need.
Sam Howell does his thing.
Sam Howell, you got to keep Sam Howell.
Yeah, but
they're so high in the draft. They so high in the draft that they're talking about getting another quarterback. They need an offensive line more than they need a quarterback. To be honest with you, so do we. Absolutely. Their defense outside of their front four is Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese. So they have to rebuild that whole defensive.
So you think
the back seven of that defense
at this time and in his age, you think that's what he wants to do?
No.
A complete revamp.
No.
So you don't see him. You see him going more to the Seahawks
because the Seahawks already have things ready made in position to with a tweak here and a tweak there. They're ready to go now.
Yeah.
Geno is your quarterback, and
Geno's not bad.
He hasn't played bad for them since he's been there. You got a decent offense.
They paid him.
Your defense is what you need to fix, and Belichick, that's your cue. That's your cue card. You can go in there and make that team defensively really good to where
their defense ain't bad at all.
It ain't. No, it's not, and that's what I'm saying.
Did they give you 12 sacks in the game or something?
They give. It was the business, boy. The Giants' offensive line, the worst of football, man. The worst of football, and nobody ever try to compare me, man. Don't ever try to say that.
Cut it out.
We are the worst. We give the second most sacks in NFL history. Okay. NFL history. But that's it.
But you have a rushing quarterback, regardless. All right, let's keep. I mean, I think
that's it for this episode.
Yeah, we've been going good. That was good.
Yeah, thank you for your contribution, Dice. I appreciate it. Dice, it was good for your input to be here on the show today. I'm fucking with Dice. I'm messing with Dice.
Yeah.
Dice is in spirit. He'll be here. He'll be here for the next episode.
Week. Yeah. So, like I said, we're gonna keep it. That's what you can look forward to next week. Look at that little snippet, little teaser that we'll talk about the finalists of the MVPs and all this stuff for next episode. So definitely. I think this is where we'll stop. We'll cut it off right now.
All right. Till next time, y'all.
Well, you gotta tell them to follow you, bro.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot the whole thing. First off, you go on YouTube, you hit that red subscribe button, you hit that yellow notification bell, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, you need to do that. So look, a couple guys asked me, they was like, "Yo, I didn't know you dropped a new one." I said, "Bro, it's weekly. We say this all the time." And then he was like, "Yeah, I didn't get a notification." I said, "Bro, you gotta hit that bell.
You gotta hit that bell. You gotta hit that red subscribe button, hit that yellow notification bell. That's what you gotta do.
Right?
Yeah, you gotta do that. And then we'll be back next week. Every day you get us on IG, Shamar for President on IG. Excess Execution. It's your boy Dice. You can on any one of IGs. You can get on there. You can find it. It's in the descriptions all over the content.
You can hit his DMs.
You wow, bro.
But you can follow the main page of the IG is Triple Threat Sportscast too. There's his own IG too. There's snippets, there's trailers, there's things in there. Hit a like, put a comment on there. We'll comment back and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's that. So until next time, y'all. Remember, drive safe.
Drive safe later.